So if we turn to the book of Enoch, we're going to see the same warning. Look at this chapter, starting at verse 9. The name of the fourth is Penemu. He discovered to the children of men bitterness and sweetness, and pointed out to them every secret of their wisdom. He taught men to understand writing and use of ink and paper. Therefore numerous have been those who have gone astray from every period of the world, even to this day. For men were not born for this, thus with pen and with ink to confirm their faith. Same warning, 2 Corinthians chapter 3. The letter killeth. Well, we're not describing the letter itself as actually, bad. It's not an evil thing. But we see that within the letter, the potential for this death is there. And that happens when this letter has been tradition bound or indoctrinated. And think about it like this. The dangers of this letter binding of truth is that when you take these ancient records, you have to realize that you're actually at the mercy of the minds of the men of that age as they discern the depth of the truth. Well, the truth itself is progressive. It will always continually yield a more higher and higher spiritual definition of the truth of that understanding. Just like we're seeing now, that truth is all-encompassing. You can see the consistency of the truth in all things. So when you crystallize the truth from the ancient past, you're actually crystallizing the truth of those limited minds of the people that recorded it. And those minds don't have the experiences of the minds of the people today. So the truth itself has been frozen in time as it's been perceived by the ancient people of the past. Well, that disallows the truth to become progressive with each age of new understanding. So water will forever and always be wet. That consistency of truth will never change. But as we grow and we learn more about this very dynamic substance known as liquid water, we find out that the water itself is ever progressive as it adapts to its conditional environment. We find out that the truth itself, being the water word, the living word of Jesus Christ, is exactly the same thing. It is always ever adaptable to its present or current conditional environment. So if we crystallize the truth and just saw water as it only being wet in our first understanding of it in the very ancient past, well, we would miss out that water itself is also a solid, that it's not just a liquid, that it's also a solid, and that at the same time it's also a gas, that it's going to adapt. It will progress with its environmental condition to meet the ever-changing needs of those that are within that conditional environment to receive that water. Because we're going to always find out that water will forever always have a way to get into any conditional environment, whether it be a liquid, whether it be a solid, or a gas. Water is in all things. It will pass through anything. It will go under anything. It will go over anything. You cannot stop water. Well, it's the very same thing with the progressive word, progressive truth of Jesus Christ. It's unstoppable. But it is when you crystallize it, when you freeze it in a singular form of understanding and then disallow it to progress with the ever-changing conditional environment. So the truth itself will forever be consistent. Water will always be wet. But you must allow the truth to adapt with the ever-changing conditional environment. I hope